Welcome to you, my name's Dale and this is DaylesAddiction. Today I'm bringing you my summary roundup of Fendi's Fall 2022 collection. The runway show happened back at the beginning of March and now it's the middle of April and it's never too late. I was saving this video, if I'm honest, because now I can give you a little preview. So if you haven't seen one of my recent-ish unboxings, I recently picked up my first Fendi in the blush pink Mink. And the reason that this purchase is particularly relevant to this video is because if you have seen the runway shots from the Fall 2022 collection, you'll see that there are a lot more furs. Now, Karl Lagerfeld actually designed the famous FF logo monogram, which you can see on my baguette there. The FF logo actually stands for Fun Furs, and it was designed by Karl Lagerfeld in all of 5 minutes. And yep, it kind of looks like a 5-minute job too. So I just wanted to take you through some of the looks from that collection, whether these are things that you would buy or that are not really up your alley. You know, that's fine, each to their own. So a couple of things I wanted to cover off on here. The baguette is actually turning 25 this year, so it's a big year for the baguette in 2022. Kim Jones is a real archivist, and he's gone back to the archives from 86 and again in 2000 to reference styles from those eras in the ready-to-wear runway collection. But the bags themselves, there's lots of heritage details from the House of Fendi. So there are Fox, there is Mink, there is Tweed, there is Jacquard, there is I don't even know, like a flannelly, I would describe it as a flannel kind of fabric. So I'm going to take you through some of my favorites. There are some new designs as well, which I'll take you through, and some of the ones that I'm not really big fans of. So first of all, let's go to these kind of new designs. So I do not know what this is called, but it's kind of a leather and I'm going to say fox kind of shoulder hobo bag, and I saw this on the catwalk in a baby pink color, which is actually quite pretty. I'm not sure that I really like the design of the bag. It also is in a striking pure white colour, a navy blue as well. I think that's it. And a grey. There's actually quite a lot of dark greys in this collection as well. So that looks like it's a new style to me. There is also a little, another little shoulder bag, which is coming in a bunch of different finishes with the Fendi F-Lock chain, which is a new kind of chain detail. This one has both gold and tortoiseshell on it. So the models on the catwalk are wearing it as a clutch, not as a shoulder bag, but it looks like it's referencing some kind of vintage design. So that's coming in a couple of different coloured jacquard FF fabrics in crocodile as well. I don't hate it. I'm not sure that I love it. I have to say one of the things with Fendi is that their bags don't seem to photograph as well as what they should look like in real life. They just look much more magical in real life. So those are kind of two newer styles that aren't currently in boutique, but that's not to say that they're entirely new to the House of Fendi. Then there are some re-editions. So there is a metallic leather and shearling trimmed baguette, which is a re-edition of an original baguette. This one's in this beautiful blue. I actually have a screenshot of a vintage option. I think it has been sold, which was on Vestiaire for about $3,500 Australian dollars. It might still be there, but that's one of the original styles, so that's kind of a re-edition coming back. The Fendi Firsts, there's a Fendi First in Red Fox, which is quite a long-haired fur, which looks really beautiful, and a turquoise croc. Again, really beautiful style. There's some oversized kind of clutch fur bags. One is in a kind of a grey with a turquoise trim. It's been carried as a clutch. It's got the Fendi lock chain on it. I'm not sure if it's meant to go on the shoulder or to be worn as an oversized clutch, but these big bags, they're coming back. That style seems to be carried on in some jacquard bags as well, so carrying on that jacquard FF print in a couple of different colours. Now the Peekaboo ICU in a very structured shape, with like hardware or metal around the edges, but again in the jacquard fabric, and a metal, or it could be a perspex handle, kind of a new design. So very slouchy materials but very structured frame, again with jacquard. Look, I have to say I'm not a huge fan of that one either. Then you've got the huge denim Peekaboo, which looks pretty cool in a dark denim. I quite like that one. That is one of my faves as well. There's quite a lot in the new Peekaboo style. A grey kind of flannel or wool looking Peekaboo with black leather sangles and a top handle. That one could work, I suppose. Again, I'm not a real fan of those really dingy kind of school uniform colours, I tend to call them. And there is a Fendi First in like a blush pink like mine, but it's actually in the leather. And I think that the strap on that one, it looks like to be a long-haired mink strap, but I think that strap would be an optional extra for that bag. So if you like this colour but you don't want it in a fur, you want it in leather, then potentially this Fendi First from the collection might be something that you're interested in. Now, the Fendigraphy bag is continuing through this season, so it looks like it's going to be with us for quite some time. There is a Zucca print, looks like a canvas style on the body of the bag with black leather trim and the gold hardware underneath. There's also some smaller little Fendigraphy bags worn on the wrist in checks and kind of turquoise. Seems to be the colour highlight of the season, and they're in the larger sizes as well. So in each of these pictures you might see these tiny little details, which there's little baguettes and little bags attached to kind of pocket charms where you might have a pocket watch on the ready to wear. So I think they'll be quite hot little items, those little charms. There's quite a few of those throughout the collection that I will try and include here. There's like a little pink one, a little white one, there's like a little brown croc one by the looks of it. So I think they'll kind of be in fairly high demand too. So that's kind of the overview of the collection. High level. I will give you my top picks. This is a collection I have to say that I'm probably not likely to buy from because of my climate. The fact that Fendi did, Mink for spring summer was really unique because I live in the tropics, or the subtropics, so it's very hard to kind of have these kind of materials here. But my most favourite pieces are that metallic shearling trimmed baguette. I think that's beautiful, and that could actually work here in my climate. The fact that it's the older style baguette though, that it just goes over the shoulder, is probably going to mean that I will not buy it because it will just be handheld for me. That smooth blush pink Fendi First is another favourite, but unlikely to purchase. I don't really like smooth leathers. Personally, I like texture. There could be more bags that weren't on the runway. If they did that blue metallic leather on a Fendi first. Now that could be something I'd be very interested in. The little pocket charms, definitely I'd like to have a good look at those. That large denim peekaboo. It looks pretty big, but this model is probably really tiny, so it's probably not huge at all, but I would like to have a look at that one. That red fox Fendi first is another favourite. Like, that is a stunning, stunning piece. Again, not something I'm likely to buy, but I can definitely admire that bag. There's the baby pink fox and leather shoulder bag in the new style. Again, unlikely to buy it, but I really love it. And the lock chains. Now, if those chains are offered as an optional accessory, the chain with the tortoise shell, I am quite interested in those. So they're my picks. The pieces that are my least favourite are those woolen styles, those kind of woolen flannel styles. There's a couple of baguettes, one in this brown that reminds me of stockings that I used to have to wear at school in the winter months when I lived down in the south, and also this yucky kind of yucky greeny kind of turquoisey colour. Oh, I just think that's a disaster waiting to happen. That's going to get dirty. It already looks pretty scungy, and there's like little mini baguettes. I'm not a huge fan of that at all. Might see it in person and think it's beautiful, but I doubt it. The big brown mink tote. There's a big brown mink tote that's included in this season with little like red and baby pink and black highlights with it looks like a mink, an all mink like baguette like attached to it. I don't know, but yeah, not a big fan of that either. I'm not a big fan of the tweeds, the houndstooths, the checks, and the crocodile. They're just all a bit heavy for me. They're very dark, but if you live in a cold area or you're looking for something more corporate or more serious, these might appeal to you. And the Fendigraphy, I gotta say, in these larger sizes, I'm not a fan of it. I was talking to a subscriber the other day. Her name is T, and she has a smaller one and has put a large strap on it and wears it crossbody. And I think that would be a cute look, like just as like a little nano option. But yeah, I'm really struggling with those bags. I did try the large one on the other day and it just did not work for me at all. So yeah, they're probably my least favourites. So tell me, from what you've seen, from what I've shown from the runway, I have focused on bags. I'm not buying ready to wear, so I'm not going to comment on it. But what are your thoughts? What do you think of this re-emergence of, the mid-80s and the 2000s? Obviously, it's Fendi reclaiming its origins again, which is kind of controversial. So please comment with respect. And yeah, I look forward to seeing what your picks of the bunch are in the comments down below and the things that you are not a fan of at all. I'll leave the link to the Vogue runway slideshow so you can have a closer look if you're interested as well in the description box. But if you've liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. I put out videos on Wednesdays and Sundays, so I'll see you in my next one. Bye!